Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, August 10th at 2 p.m. and we are convened for our regularly scheduled business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners to begin with. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Irvin, Commissioner Caston, Vice Chair Powers. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Commissioner Carolee Williams, and Chair Belser. I note that Commissioner Thomas is on leave today. Before we begin, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be scheduled for Thursday, August the 24th, 2023 at 2 p.m.
Thank you. We will schedule our next regularly scheduled commission business meeting for Thursday, August 24th at 2 p.m.
Today we have a very full agenda with 39 items on the utilities agenda and 19 items on the transportation agenda. Item number one is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff to withdraw Alexander W. Knowles, Esquire, as counsel on all of the dockets listed in the notice.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item one identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the motion to withdraw Alexander W. Knowles, Esquire, as counsel for all dockets listed on the agenda and referenced in item number one. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? I would just like to add that I'm sure that all of you would join me in wishing Mr. Knowles the best in his future endeavors. We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items number 2 through 10 are notifications of termination of interconnection agreements and can be taken together. I will review them for the Commission. Item number 1 is in docket number 1997-380C, which is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Fusion Cloud Services LLC as of June 30th, 2021. Item number 3 appears in docket number 1999-462C. This is a notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Bell South Long Distance, doing business as AT&T Long Distance Service as of December 31st, 2019. Item number 4 is in docket number 2016-65C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Envoy LLC as of April 6th, 2019. Item number 5 appears in docket number 1998-607C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Ernest Communications Incorporated as of May the 18th, 2021. Item number 6 is in docket number 1998-13C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and IDS Telcom Corporation as of July 26, 2021. Item number 7 is in docket number 2001-372C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Lightyear Network Solutions LLC as of May 18th, 2021. Item number 8 appears in docket number 2007-16C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Vertex Communications Incorporated as of October 13th, 2022. Item number 9 appears in docket number 1998-395C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Global Connection Incorporated as of April 13, 2023. And item number 10 appears in docket number 2006-206C. This is notice of termination of the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Embark Communications Incorporated as of January 31st, 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard agenda items 2 through 10 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission accept as information the notifications of termination of interconnection agreements and utility agendas items numbers 2 through 10 as listed by Mr. Scarborough. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in dockets number 1996-145C and 2022-379C, which involve a motion from PNG Telecommunications Incorporated, doing business as PowerNet Global Communications, doing business as Cross Connect, doing business as Thrive Communications, to amend Commission Order number 2023-288 and reinstate its certificate of public convenience and necessity.
With regard to agenda item 11 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Chair Belser,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
thank you. I move that the commission rescind the portion of order number 2023-288 that revokes the certificate of PNG Telecommunications, Inc. I further move to reinstate the certificate of PNG Telecommunications, Inc. It has been asserted that the singular cause for failure to comply with reporting requirements was an error in contact information for PNG Telecommunications, Inc. This error has been rectified and all reports have been filed. PNG Telecommunications, Inc. must timely comply with all Commission rules, regulations, filing requirements, and similar requirements prospectively. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers. Commissioner, I don't think we heard you. Vice Chair?
Aye.
Thank you, and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is in docket number 2012-205C. This is notice of the expiration of the Lifeline Legacy Plan from Boomerang Wireless, LLC, doing business as In Touch Wireless, effective September 26, 2023.
With regard to agenda item 12, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston,
I move that the commission accept for filing the notice that Boomerang Wireless LLC, doing business as In Touch Wireless, Lifeline Legacy Plan, will expire effective September 26, 2023. The new Lifeline benefit is a 1,000 bundled voice-free plan and differs only in that it includes 500 texts instead of unlimited. Existing subscribers will not need to take any action to migrate to the new plan. Impacted subscribers will receive a series of notices over a 60-day period. Should a subscriber wish to transfer their Lifeline benefit to another service provider, they may do so without fee or penalty. I so move.
thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye as well. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2019-108G, which involves acceptance for filing the 30th Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract for Fort Jackson, filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
With regard to agenda item 13, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing the 13th Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson, filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. So moved.
I believe isn't this the 30th amendment? Commissioner Williams, would you accept a friendly amendment that it's 30th, not 13th?
Yes, ma'am, I would. It is the 30th.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 is in docket number 2023-232E. This is a request for acceptance of filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Wilson Bridge Solar LLC, along with a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
With regard to utilities agenda item 14, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin is recognized.
thank you. I move that the commission accept for filing the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Wilson Bridge Solar LLC. Further move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the power purchase agreement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, is there any discussion on the motion?
Madam Chair, just for clarification, that's for filing only, correct?
That's correct. Commissioner Irvin, would you accept a friendly amendment of filing only?
I'm not sure what legal effect that has, but if that's the wishes of Commissioner Caston, I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote on the motion with the friendly amendment. Beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number 2023-228E, which is a request for acceptance of filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Foster Mill Solar LLC, along with a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
Commissioners, we've heard item 15 identified. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing only the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Foster Mill Solar LLC. I further move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment for certain provisions of this agreement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 is in docket number 2023-189E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of certain portions of the direct testimony of James Finley Salter that the South Carolina Public Service Authority labeled as confidential, unless or until the Commission rules otherwise, or the South Carolina Public Service Authority agrees that such information is not entitled to protection from public disclosure or is no longer confidential.
Commissioners, with regard to Utilities Agenda Item 16, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment for certain provisions. provisions in direct testimony of James Finley Salter, unless or until the commission rules otherwise, or until the South Carolina Public Service Authority agrees that such information is not entitled to protection from public disclosure or no longer confidential. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin on agenda item 16. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 appears in docket number 2023-89E. This is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of James H. Jeffries IV, Esquire, filed on behalf of Duke Energy Progress, LLC.
With regard to utilities agenda item 17, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Progress LLC for admission pro hoc vici of James H. Jeffries IV, Esquire.
thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 appears in docket number 2023-15E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff to maintain confidential treatment of certain portions of the surrebuttal testimony and exhibit of Zachary Ming that Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated labeled as confidential, unless or until the Commission rules otherwise, or until Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated agrees that this information no longer is confidential.
With regard to agenda item 18, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, during the hearing on July 25th, 2023, the commission received into evidence Zachary Ming's surrebuttal testimony on Exhibit ZM1, which contained information designated as confidential by Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. Madam Chair granted the Office of Regulatory Staff's request to maintain confidential treatment of surrebuttal Exhibit ZM1. As such, I move that the Commission continue to maintain its confidential treatment of Mr. Ming's surrebuttal testimony and exhibits unless or until the Commission rules otherwise or until Dominion Energy South Carolina agrees such information is no longer confidential. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Madam Chair, I feel that I'm recused from that particular case. I missed some part of the earlier discussions and would ask to just not vote on this one.
Thank you, Commissioner. I did not have that noted, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. Vice Chair Powers is recused on item 18. Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 is in dockets numbered 2023-16E and 2023-17E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for confidential treatment of Exhibit 1 to Glenn Snyder's rebuttal testimony.
With regard to utilities agenda item 19, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of Exhibit 1, witness Snyder's rebuttal testimony. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item numbers 20 and 21 can be taken together. Staff recommends that these two items be carried over.
Items 20 and 21 will be carried over.
Item number 22 is in docket number 2022-84WS. This is a motion for reconsideration of the commission directive in this docket dated June 29th, 2023 by Sarah Zito, Alvaro Sarmiento Jr., Mark Shin, and Daniel Bermudez.
With regard to agenda item 22, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, on June 29th, 2023, the commission, following a motion and vote, issued a directive granting the motions of the respondents that no evidentiary hearing was required and dismissing the matter before us. The directive was not issued as a directive order and does not constitute an order of the commission. A full written order is being prepared. As such, I recognize that the most likely intent of petitioners was to act out of abundance of caution to preserve their rights to have the matter reconsidered. I move the commission dismiss the motion for reconsideration filed by petitioners as untimely. This dismissal is without prejudice, and as to any party's rights to file a petition seeking reconsideration or rehearing following the issuance of the commission's written order addressing the issues described in the June 29th, 2023 directive. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 23 is in docket number 2019-189WS. This is a request for approval of Jacob Utilities LLC's 30-day notice of an increase in the water and sewer pass-through rates by the City of Clemson.
With regard to utilities agenda item 23, do I hear a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. Jacob Utilities LLC states that its bulk water supplier for certain areas served by the utility, the City of Clemson, has increased its water rates and seeks to pass the increased cost of its bulk water purchase to its customers. According to Jacob, the new volume rate is $4.02 per 1,000 gallons and is an increase of 37 cents per 1,000 gallons. And the new customer charge is $12.88 per month and is an increase of $1.17 per month. The new sewer rate is $5.59 per 1,000 gallons and is an increase of 39 cents per 1,000 gallons. The new customer charge for sewer is $20.75 per month and is an increase of $1.45 per month. The utility further states that a 30-day notice was mailed on July 17, 2023, notifying the customers of the increases that are to become effective on August 17, 2023. Jacob provided a copy of the notice of its increase by the City of Clemson. Accordingly, I move that the Commission approve the requested increase in the wholesale water and sewer rates for Jacob for bulk water and sewer purchases from the City of Clemson effective August 17th, 2023.
Thank you, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belser,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I'd just like to note for the record, it may be clear enough in this motion, but this is a cost that is just passed through to the customers. There's no, Jacob Utilities makes nothing on this cost and is just passing it through from their wholesale provider.
Thank you for noting that. I was thinking the same thing, that their tariff does contain a provision to allow the pass-through of increases from the third party or bulk supplier, and that's what this pertains to. So thank you very much for that clarification. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 24 appears in docket number 2013-386W. This is a request for approval of Jacob Utilities LLC's 30-day notice of an increase in the water pass-through rates by Seneca Light and Water.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 24, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
Jacob Utilities LLC states that its bulk water supplier for certain areas served by the utility, Seneca Light and Water, has changed its water rates and seeks to pass the increased cost of its bulk water purchase to its customers. According to Jacob, the new rate is $6.21 per 1,000 gallons and is an increase of $2.86 per 1,000 gallons. The new rate for the 8-inch meter is $409.56 and is a decrease of $160.48 per month. The utility further states that the 30-day notice was mailed on July 17th, 2023, notifying the customers of the increases that are to become effective on August 17th, 2023. Jacob provided a copy of the notice of the increase by Seneca Light and Water. I move that the commission approve the requested change in the wholesale water rates for Jacob for bulk water purchases from Seneca Light and Water effective August 17th, 2023. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, I will just note that similar to the previous motion, this is just a pass-through.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. And as we stated earlier, the tariff for Jacob Utilities does contain language allowing the pass-through of increases from a third party or bulk supplier of services. If there's no further discussion, and hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote on the matter, beginning with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 25 is in dockets numbered 2015-274W, 2016-126W, and 2018-28W. This is a request for approval of Jacob Utilities LLC's 30-day notice of an increase in water pass-through rates by the city of Clemson.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 25, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
Jacob Utilities LLC states that its bulk water supplier for certain areas served by the utility, the city of Clemson, has increased its water rates and seeks to pass the increased cost of its bulk water purchase to its customers. According to Jacob, the new volume rate is $4.02 per 1,000 gallons. This is an increase of 37 cents per 1,000 gallons. And the new customer charge is $12.88 per month. This is an increase of $1.17 per month. The utility further states that a 30-day notice was mailed on July 17th, 2023, notifying the customers of the increases that are to become effective on August 17th, 2023. Jacob provided a copy of the notice of the increase by the city of Clemson. I move that the commission approve the requested increase in the wholesale water rates for Jacob for bulk water purchases for the city of Clemson effective August 17th, 2023.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
I'll point out the same thing, Madam Chair. the previous two motions. This is simply a pass-through, as allowed by their, tariff.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 26 is in docket number 2020-275S. This is a joint motion for approval of the Second Amendment to the Gravity Sewer Agreement in Exhibit A and the assignment of the Gravity Sewer Agreement, Exhibit 2, between Condor Environmental Incorporated and Renewable Water Resources, or REWA.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 26, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the joint motion for approval of the Second Amendment, Gravity Sewer Agreement, Exhibit 1, and assignment of Gravity Sewer Agreement, Exhibit 2, is filed on behalf of Condor Environmental Incorporated, Condor, and Renewable Water Resources, also known as REWA. I also move that the commission approve the amended Gravity Sewer Agreement as filed with the amended application on January 21st, 2021, and the request for waiver of hearing included in the amended application. ORS does not object to the commission approving the joint motion for approval of the Second Amendment, the Gravity Sewer Agreement, the assignment of Gravity Sewer Agreement, the amended Gravity Sewer Agreement as filed with the January 21st, 2021 amended application, or also as requested in the amended application, granting Condor's request for a waiver of hearing subject to the following. Number one, determination that following approval of the assignment agreement, and second agreement, Condor should no longer be permitted to provide sewer service to Carriage Hill customers or to charge provisional rates to Carriage Hill customers as previously provided for in order number 2020-847 for services rendered after the date of approval. Number two, a determination that following approval of the assignment agreement, and second agreement, Condor will possess no rights or responsibilities to provide sewer utility service to Carriage Hill, no ownership of any Carriage Hill utility plants or facilities, no rights to serve Carriage Hill customers, no rights to bill or to receive compensation from Carriage Hill customers for services rendered after the date of approval, no responsibility to compensate easily combined utilities, ECU, for the treatment of the sewer conveyed from Carriage Hill to ECU after the date of approval, and no responsibility to maintain compliance with all state and federal environmental permits required to operate the Carriage Hill sewer system after the date of approval. Number three, a determination that following approval of the assignment agreement, and second amendment, REWA will possess all rights and responsibilities to provide sewer utility service to Carriage Hill, ownership of all Carriage Hill utility plants and facilities, the rights to serve Carriage Hill customers, the rights to bill and to receive compensation from Carriage Hill customers for services rendered after the date of approval, the responsibility to compensate ECU for the treatment of the sewer conveyed from Carriage Hill to ECU after the date of approval, and the responsibility to maintain compliance with all federal and state environmental permits required to operate the Carriage Hill sewer system after the date of approval. Number four, a determination that all requests in the amended application are rendered moot by the Commission's approval of the assignment agreement, and second amendment. Number five, a requirement that Condor provide written notice to affected customers of the change in service provider no later than 10 days after the Commission approval of the assignment agreement, and second amendment. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 27 is in docket number 2023-29S, which involves a request from Jacob Utilities LLC to file a copy of the statement by a professional engineer that the system at issue in this docket was built according to plans and specifications on file with the commission, and that Jacob will furnish adequate services for the area to be served upon completion of the plant and facilities. There's also a request by Jacob Utilities LLC to file with the commission the final letter of approval from the Department of Health and Environmental Control before commencing operation of the system.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 27 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you very much. I move the commission grant the request of Jacob Utilities LLC to defer filing a copy of the required engineering statement and final letter of approval from the Department of Health and Environmental Control, or DHEC, pursuant to South Carolina Code Regulations Sections 103-512.4.b 11 and 12, until after construction of the plant and facilities has been completed. According to the supplemental application, both the applicant and the owner consent to the requested relief. Jacob must furnish the statement by a professional engineer and DHEC letter required by the regulations to the commission and to the Office of Regulatory Staff as soon as they become available. I further move that Jacob provide to the commission and all parties its estimated or anticipated date of completion for the project within 10 days of this directive. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Urban?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas? I'm sorry, Commissioner Thomas is on leave. Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 28 is in docket number 2019-233A. This involves an annual report filed by Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC on April 28, 2023, and the substance of prospective reports filed pursuant to Commission Order number 2023-38.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 28, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move the commission find Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC's annual deferral reports filed on April 28, 2023 does not contain all the information sought by order number 2023-38. To provide complete and accurate information, the Commission's intent is for the utilities to provide all requested information for those deferrals that have not been placed into rates and deferrals that have been placed into rates from a prior proceeding. Also, the company shall provide a dollar value impact on the revenue requirement for deferrals currently being amortized or fully amortized and have been placed into rates. Within 14 days, any affected utility, ORS, and DCA may provide comment on the clarification of this order. In addition, regarding the deferrals for docket numbers 2019-321E and 2019-322E, the annual reports state no deferrals have been recorded currently. Following the comment period, the company shall provide the following information within 30 days. Have there been any incurred cost for these pilot programs? What amounts and why were they not recorded in the submitted report? Does Duke anticipate including any cost to the deferral at a later date that has been incurred previously? Or, why were there no incurred costs in the submitted report for these programs since the pilot's inception I further direct the clerk's office to notify all regulated electric, gas, water, and wastewater utilities of this commission's ruling and clarification. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Urban?
thank you. Madam Chair, I'm raise a point of order and motion to strike. Commissioner Caston, in his motion, is going to, excuse me, is in violation of the South Carolina Code of Laws, which adopted the Administrative Procedures Act, which requires that the commission give any party 30 days written notice and an opportunity to be heard on any matters that affect them. This is an unlawful attempt by Commissioner Caston to extend the matter to, quote, all regulated electric, gas, water, and wastewater utilities of this commission's ruling and clarification. That is simply a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act. We have not given all other utilities notice of this action, and therefore I would propose that we strike from the motion in paragraph 1, first, the second sentence, strike the utilities and insert these, which means it's specific to the Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress only. The second motion strike would be sentence that begins, quote, within 14 days, any affected utility ORS and DCA may provide comment on the clarification of this order, end quote. 14 days does not comply with the notice requirements of the Administrative Procedures Act, and therefore it's a violation of law. And finally, the third motion to strike is, quote, I further direct the clerk's office to notify all regulated electric, gas, water, and wastewater utilities of this commission's ruling and clarification, end quote. Again, this is an unlawful attempt to extend what should be the limitations, the limited action addressing only Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress to all regulated utilities in South Carolina, none of which have been given notice or an opportunity to be heard as required by law. So moved.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
certainly not my intent to do any of the things mentioned. I would recommend then that I withdraw the motion and we simply carry it over.
The motion is before us is being withdrawn by the movement. Commissioner Urban, are you satisfied with that until proper notice can be given?
Well, I am, but I would also point out that these changes were made at the last minute without the commissioners being given an opportunity for legal briefing by our legal staff. And that would be another reason that it needs to be carried over so that we can be properly briefed on the matter at a later date.
Okay.
So since the motion's been withdrawn.
We'll carry this matter over for further
Thank you.
briefing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I might though, I believe this was in everyone's information, but it's withdrawn, so we'll carry it over.
Thank you, Commissioner. Item 28 is carried over. Mr. Scarborough.
Yes, item 29 is in docket number ND-2022-30E. This is a request from ChargePoint Incorporated to participate as a member of the technical advisory team that is coordinating the study on the integration of renewable energy and emerging energy technologies on the electric grid in South Carolina.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 29, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant ChargePoint Incorporated's request to participate as a member of the technical advisory team. ChargePoint is an expert in electrical vehicle charging technology, infrastructure, and integration, and I believe they would add value to the commission's technical advisory team. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 30 also appears in docket number ND-2022-30E. Staff presents for commission consideration a request for a status update from the Renewable Energy Integration Study Technical Advisory Team.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 30, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Madam Chair, I move that the commission request a status update on discussions being held by the Integration Study Technical Advisory Team. I request the status update be filed with the commission no later than 30 days from the date of this directive. If the technical advisory team needs more time than 30 days, I request that they inform the commission with a date that will allow them to give a proper update and allow the commission to know at the very least when to expect said update. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. Commissioner Williams, you may have referenced this, but I believe this has to do with the need for funding for support, outside support for this team. And I wonder if that should be added to the motion to clarify it. Okay, I'm being told no. And I accept that.
Okay, well, I mean,
I think that's
it's
another
not gonna
matter, Commissioner.
hurt my feelings, but I didn't see that one. But
No, I think that's a different matter.
oh,
Okay.
okay,
So, thank you.
all right.
Any further discussion on the motion on agenda item 30? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. And Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, well, I think I'm correct. If I am wrong, I will correct it at our next meeting. Thank you.
Item number 31 is in docket number ND-2023-25A. This involves a request from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams to discuss receiving information concerning the Federal Inflation Reduction Act and to request an update from the Office of Regulatory Staff.
With regard to agenda item 31, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission reiterate its request of the Office of Regulatory Staff to comment on whether an administrative docket should be opened by the commission requiring that electric utilities, subject to the commission's jurisdiction, be opened by the commission requiring electric utilities subject to the commission's jurisdiction provide semi-annual reports related to the Federal Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA. I also move that ORS comment on whether such information from electric utilities would be useful to ORS and potentially other interested parties when providing comments and information in dockets, and what type information would be needed from electric utilities related to the utility's ability to obtain, directly or indirectly, federal grants, low-interest loans, tax credits, or other benefits under the Federal Inflation Reduction Act, I further move that ORS provide its comments no later than 30 days from today. However, if additional time is needed for ORS to comment, the commission staff is authorized to make such adjustments or extension. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams, Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer,
Commissioner Williams.
thank you. You know, this is a time where there's been a good many federal programs that have offered new opportunities, and those opportunities have put dollars on the table, and this is just an attempt to understand in this particular federal act whether there are benefits that we ought to be tracking, and we need some outside expert help to help us determine if we ought to be tracking those investments that the electric utilities might be benefiting from, and we appreciate any help that can be provided in that regard.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 32 is in docket number 2023-4G, which involves final disposition of this docket.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 32, concerning PGA and gas purchasing policies of Piedmont Natural Gas, is there any discussion? Excuse me, is there a motion?
I have a motion, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Irvin is recognized. Thank you for saving me there.
Thank you. I move that the commission find that Piedmont's gas purchasing policies and practices during the review period to be reasonable and prudent, that the company properly adhered to the gas cost recovery provisions mechanism of its gas tariff and commission orders during the review period, that the company managed its hedging plan according to the review period, during the review period in a reasonable and prudent manner consistent with commission orders, that Piedmont's true-up procedures for the review period resulted in a properly stated cost of gas, that Piedmont's gas costs were properly recorded in accordance with Piedmont's GCRM and hedging plan, and the end of period balances for Piedmont's hedging account and deferred gas cost account are those reflected in the testimony and evidence of Piedmont's witness Tomlinson as presented at the commission hearing. I further move commission approve the settlement agreement as a reasonable resolution of the issues presented and find that the settlement agreement to be in the public interest. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item 33 involves proposed procedural schedules in various dockets filed by interested stakeholders.
Commissioner Justin Williams, I would like to turn the gavel over to you for this item, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Item 33.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. Mr. Scarborough, if you wouldn't mind just restating that item, please, sir.
Yes, sir, be glad to. Item number 33 involves proposed procedural schedules in various dockets filed by interested stakeholders.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, hearing the item as read by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Commissioner Williams, I have a motion.
Madam Chair, you have the floor.
I move that the commission strongly urge all parties or interested stakeholders who seek to propose procedural schedules and dockets are directed to consult with the clerk's office related to the commission schedule and availability of potential hearing dates. So move.
Fellow commissioners, hearing the motion made by the chair, is there any discussion?
Commissioner Williams?
Madam Chair, you have the floor.
While I appreciate the parties and interested stakeholders working together to come up with procedural schedules for dockets pending before us, they only have information available to them that is visible on the public calendar on the commission website. Oftentimes, the clerk's office, knowing that filings are coming in or have been filed, is holding dates for other hearings that we know are coming up or have other conflicts that may not appear on the public calendar. As I said, I really appreciate the parties working together to come up with a proposed calendar or schedule, but I think it would help all parties and the commission if they would consult with the chief clerk or the clerk's office to make sure that dates they are proposing are available for the schedules that they propose. It just would be helpful on the front end rather than have the parties work something out, then they hope that they're going to be able to rely on that, and then we have to adjust. Also, the other part of it is that we have to maintain sufficient time for us to consider a case and render a decision. And I think if the parties would include the clerk's office in available dates for the schedule, would aid in that as well. So that's the basis of my motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Madam Chair.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Powers?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Urban?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
I vote aye as well. The motion carries. I will return the gavel to the chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams.
Item number 34 appears in docket number 2023-154E. This involves request for a public hearing regarding Santee Cooper's 2023 Comprehensive Integrated Resource Plan.
With regard to item 34, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the chief clerk schedule and notice a public hearing for customers to testify on a date prior to the evidentiary hearing scheduled to begin on December 4th, 2023. Customers wanting to present testimony may appear in person at the commission hearing room located at 101 Executive Center Drive, Columbia, South Carolina, 29210, or appear virtually.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 35 is in docket number 2023-8E. This involves request for a public hearing regarding Duke Energy Progress LLC's 2023 Comprehensive Integrated Resource Plan.
Mr. Scarborough, I'm going to ask that we take 35 and 37 together, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am, that'll be fine. Number 37 is in docket number 2023-10E. This involves a request for a public hearing regarding Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's 2023 Comprehensive Integrated Resource Plan.
With regard to items 35 and 37, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I move that after Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC files its integrated resource plan, that the chief clerk schedule and notice a public hearing for customers to testify on a date prior to the evidentiary hearing scheduled to begin on April 8th, 2024. Customers wanting to present testimony may appear in person at the commission hearing room located at 101 Executive Center Drive, Columbia, South Carolina, 29210, or appear virtually.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Williams on agenda items 35 and 37. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 36 is in docket number 2023-9E. This also involves requests for a public hearing, this time regarding Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 2023 Comprehensive Integrated Resource Plan.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 36, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Thank you. I move that the commission instruct the chief clerk to issue a noticing schedule time for customer testimony at the notice public hearing, a public hearing set and scheduled to begin on Monday, August 28, 2023 at 10 a.m. in the commission's hearing room. The chief clerk shall schedule a session for customer testimony prior to the presentation by the parties of their witnesses on Monday, August 28, 2023, and also schedule a late afternoon and evening session for customer testimony during the noticed hearing. Customers wanting to present testimony may appear in person at the commission hearing room located at 101 Executive Center Drive, Columbia, South Carolina 29210, or may appear virtually. Customers wanting to testify must pre-register to receive a time slot to present their testimony. Also, customer public witnesses must indicate whether they will appear virtually or in person so that commission staff can provide information on how witnesses may testify virtually. Customers who wish to offer testimony on the day of the hearing and wish to testify in person but do not register will be called to testify at the end of the pre-registrant list.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
I have a question, Commissioner Williams, if I may. When you say customer, you're referring to Dominion Energy South Carolina customer, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is that all?
Yeah, I just think that in these dockets where we're setting public hearings, it should be clear to in the notice that they have to be a customer of the utility involved in the docket, so that that's clear before the notice goes out. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would just like to note that we're scheduling these public hearings because we have received a number of requests from customers of these utilities, particularly the Dominion customers, because their hearing is coming up first and is already scheduled in less than 30 days. And so we will afford time periods for public witnesses, customers who want to appear as public witnesses, to comment on the matter at hand, the Integrated Resource Plan. And notices will be sent to those customers who have filed requests for a public hearing, and how they can participate. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 38 appears in docket number 2023-243G. On August 9th, 2023, the Office of Regulatory Staff submitted a letter requesting that the Commission carry over this item to give ORS sufficient time to complete its review. Therefore, staff recommends that this item be carried over.
Item 38 will be carried over.
Item number 39 appears in docket number 2023-242E. Staff recommends that this item be carried over.
Item 39 will be carried over.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the Commission today. So moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items numbered 1 through 14 in Part A are requests for new Class C certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the Commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-225T, which is the application of M2M Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-224T, which is the application of Cassandra Wilson, doing business as A&M Transportation, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-223T. This is the application of Davis Driving Company, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 4 appears in docket number 2023-226T. This is the application of Tabs Professional Transportation, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2023-227T, which is the application of Coastal Executive Limousine Service, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 6 appears in docket number 2023-234T. This is the application of JDL Management, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 7 is in docket number 2023-233T. This is the application of Bevid Senior Care, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 8 appears in docket number 2023-235T, which is the application of Carolina Executive Coach, LLC, for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 9 is in docket number 2023-231T, which is the application of Distinguished Limo, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 10 is in docket number 2023-236T. This is the application of Aiken Transport Express, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 11 is in docket number 2023-237T, which is the application of Amore 5, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 12 is in docket number 2023-238T, which is the application of Tri-City Transportation, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 13 is in docket number 2023-239T. This is the application of Bell's Home Care Professionals, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. And item number 14 is in docket number 2023-240T, which is the application of Nationwide Taxi, LLC, for a Class C charter certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda items 1 through 14 as described by Mr. Scarborough from the motor carrier or transportation agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin,
thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items numbers 1 through 14, Section A, as listed and outlined by Mr. Scarborough. So moved.
thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers. Sorry, Vice Chair Powers, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have one request to amend a certificate, which appears in docket number 2013-178T. This is a request from Joseph Gavin to amend Class C taxi certificate number 8756 to read Flowtown Taxi Service.
With regard to utilities agenda item B1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Madam Chair, I move that the commission grant the request of Joseph Gavin to amend their Class C certificate number 8756 to read Flowtown Taxi Service. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have three requests to cancel certificates. Item number 1 is in dockets numbered 2015-43T and 2023-196T. This is a request of Carolina Shuttle Service, LLC, to cancel Class C charter certificate number 9059. Item number 2 is in docket number 2022-185T. This is a request of I-58 Incorporated to cancel Class C Charter Certificate number 9710. And item number 3 appears in docket number 2009-302T. This is a request of AAA Extreme Limousine Service, LLC, to cancel Class C Charter Certificate number 8158.
With regard to transportation agenda items C1 through C3, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request to cancel the Class C certificates in items numbers 1 through 3 in Section C as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have one request for an extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. Item number 1 is in docket number 2023-159T. This is a request from Solutions in Transportation, LLC, for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to the transportation agenda item D1, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd
Commis-
like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant a 6-month extension of time until February 10th, 2024, to allow the company to come into compliance with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, I need to make a correction concerning the next commission business meeting. Earlier in the meeting, I believe I said that the next meeting is on August the 24th. I believe the next meeting is actually scheduled for August the 17th, 1 week from today at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. I'm glad you're keeping track of that. I have trouble keeping up with the day of the week anymore. So let us clarify that the next regularly scheduled commission business meeting will be held next Thursday, which is August 17th, and it will start at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. And Madam Chair, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, if there's nothing further, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.